I'm working on what I call a legal reasoning project, and it has a number of facets: theoretical, empirical, a skills side. From the philosophy side and my legal practice side, I've always been interested in fact-finding, and also in my PhD program, artificial intelligence and software design. And I bring that together in this project because the law is a very interesting knowledge domain. If we just back up and look at the law from the standpoint of other perspectives in society, from the standpoint of the knowledge engineers, the software engineers, the AI people, what we do in law is very interesting to them. And we do it because we're trying to solve legal problems within the rule of law. The rule of law requires us to be as transparent as possible in our thinking and to base our decisions on rules such that similar cases get decided similarly. So we have very concrete justice and fairness concerns in law. And that means that, if we look at it now from a software standpoint, that we are a good example of what they call rule-based reasoning. We try to make similar cases come out similarly because we all know what the rules are. On the other hand, the evidence is what tailors the rules. We decide whether the rules apply in a given case depending on the evidence, and so evidence assessment is an important part. And we have a third component that's especially interesting, and that is we reason about those rules and we reason about our evidence evaluation, and we have rules about the procedures and the processes. So that over time we actually evolve, I think, new reasoning structures in law suited to our needs. So that's the theoretical side. The empirical side is we are doing this to solve real legal problems. So if we want to study the thought processes, the reasoning patterns in law, we have to go out into the field and look at how they're actually done in deciding cases. And that's the empirical research. The skills side is interesting not only from a pedagogical standpoint but a software standpoint. What I think of as logic skills go with this project in this sense. Let me give you an example. We know that as lawyers we take a text and we read it, an opinion of a court, and we read it and we decide that a certain paragraph and a certain sentence is stating a rule of law. Well, how do we know that? How did we find that sentence? And how do we know what the rule is to extract from that sentence? And how do we justify that? Now, we do that routinely in the law. But what we don't have are good theories about how we do it. And software is a test and a validation of our understanding. If we really understood how we did that, we'd have a better idea of how to make computer software that will help us do, maybe not the whole thing, certainly not the whole thing, but certain parts of it. There might be parts of it that we can automate that would help our thinking. And that means that software is not only has this theoretical and pedagogical side, but it has a very practical use. Software can make the provision of legal services more efficient. If we can help through software to automate certain parts of the task, to keep decision makers on track, we can hopefully produce a higher percentage of correctly decided cases, of similarly decided cases, and we can deliver high-quality legal services at lower cost, especially in areas where in society there's a high volume of cases, of repeat kinds of cases. So the legal reasoning project involves all of these things.